There's a place where Rolex doesn't really mean Rolex, where the crown logo is everywhere, prices make no sense, and entire streets move millions of dollars in watches that were never made in Switzerland. Welcome to the world's largest fake Rolex market, hidden in plain sight in the cities of China. Investigators estimate the global counterfeit watch trade is worth over $1 billion a year, and Rolex alone accounts for a major share of it. In certain Chinese manufacturing hubs, a single district can produce tens of thousands of replica watches every month, ranging from crude knockoffs to near-perfect copies that cost $600 to $1,500 to make and sell for much more overseas. What makes this market so powerful isn't just volume, it's organization. Entire supply chains exist just for fake Rolexes. Cases from one factory, movements from another, dials aged to look vintage, boxes and papers produced separately. Some operations employ hundreds of workers, running like legitimate brands, quality control included. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Many buyers don't know they're buying fake. These watches travel from China to other parts of the world, slipping into resale markets, online listings, even private collections. In this video, we're going inside China's fake Rolex empire, how it works, why it keeps growing, and why shutting it down has proven nearly impossible. This would change the way you see Rolex forever. Let's take a look. Inside China's counterfeit market. China's counterfeit goods market is huge. When people talk about fake products in the world, China's name comes up again and again. China and nearby Hong Kong together are responsible for around 80% of all fake goods seized by United States Customs when they check incoming shipments. This means most fake things caught at the United States border came from China. These counterfeits are not small or simple things. They include clothing, shoes, electronics, watches, perfume, bags, and even toys. Many of these products look almost real, especially the high-end luxury versions. The fake Rolex watches you hear about are part of this larger market of copied goods. That means a huge share of all fakes brought into the United States come from products made or shipped from China. The reasons behind this are many. China became a global manufacturing center long ago because labor is cheaper and the country can make goods faster and in large numbers. Many international brand products are legally made in China for their factories. But this same manufacturing strength, the ability to produce lots of things quickly, also means people can make fake versions of those products. At the same time, China's domestic demand for luxury goods has grown. More people want high-status brands, but not everyone can afford the real ones. So some people buy fakes because they look like designer products but cost a lot less. Other buyers might not even realize they are buying fake products. All of these factors help the counterfeit market grow. Many fake products are shipped all over the world. They may go to markets in Africa, Southeast Asia, the Middle East, Europe, and the Americas. If you order something cheap online and it comes from a Chinese seller, there is a chance it might be a counterfeit. Some people call the culture of copying products shanzai. This term originally meant imitation or knockoff products in China. Often, it applies to fake electronics and other copied goods. Over time, shanzai has changed meaning a bit. But at its core, it still refers to copies of products that look like the real thing. Yiwu, a city in eastern China, is one example of how big this fake market can be. It is home to one of the largest markets for small goods in the world. Traders and sellers from many countries come there to buy products in bulk, including counterfeit items. Research has shown that in markets like this, fake products are traded in massive quantities, sometimes thousands of tons every day. That means this market plays a big role in distributing counterfeit goods. People shopping or traveling in China might see these fake products in open markets or stalls. Some counterfeit goods are sold in plain sight. Others are hidden or sold discreetly to avoid the authorities. People who are involved in selling fake goods sometimes use special groups on social media or private messaging apps to connect to buyers. Buyers might think they are getting a great deal, not realizing the risks involved. It is important to understand that not all counterfeit products are the same. Some are cheap and easy to spot, made with low-quality materials that break or stop working quickly. Others, known as super fakes or one-to-one replicas, are highly detailed and hard to tell apart from the original. These high-quality replicas may cost more but still sell for far less than genuine luxury items. One reason fake markets exist is because enforcing intellectual property laws is difficult. China has laws against counterfeiting, and there are government agencies meant to enforce these laws. But the sheer size and complexity of the market make it challenging for the authorities to control every seller or factory that makes fake products. Enforcement varies depending on location, resources, and priorities. However, fake markets still continue because there is a strong demand both inside and outside of China. The topic of fake products also affects global trade. Some countries have complained that counterfeit goods harm their local businesses and take away jobs. This has led to international discussions about trade rules, intellectual property rights, and how to better protect legitimate brands and consumers. Now, let's study some of the places dedicated to these counterfeit markets. Major replica watch hubs. There are a few places in China that are known around the world for selling replica watches, especially fake Rolex watches. China is so big that the replica watch market doesn't happen in just one street or one small space. Instead, it exists in large trading hubs, market districts, city streets, and hidden night markets. These places are often called watch markets, ghost markets, or replica hubs because they have so many sellers offering copies of luxury watches. One of the biggest and most famous watch markets in the world is in Guangzhou. Guangzhou is a major city in southern China, and it has what many people call the Guangzhou Watch Market, or Jiangxi Watch Market. This is a whole area filled with several large buildings, galleries, and trading centers, where thousands of sellers and manufacturers come together every day to sell watches. People from all over China and from other countries travel here to see what is available. Walking into the Guangzhou Watch Hub can feel overwhelming. Stands and shops are packed tightly, and it seems like there are endless choices. Sellers display watches of every style, color, and brand. Rolex designs are some of the most common replicas available, but there are also fake watches that look like other luxury brands. The market is made up of many parts with names like Jiangxi Kowloon Watch Center, Southern Watch Trade Center, and Sanyi Watch City. Each part has its own group of vendors and styles, and many buyers drift from one part to another comparing products. During the day, the market looks like a normal wholesale watch market. Many of the products on open display are cheaper and lower quality. These watches might look good from far away, but close inspection shows simple movements, loose parts, or plastic materials. These daytime offerings are only one part of what happens in Guangzhou. When night comes, some parts of the market change character. In certain areas near Jiangxi Road, sometimes called the Ghost Watch Market, activity takes on a different feel after dark. Vendors with backpacks arrive and start showing high-grade replica watches. These watches look more like real luxury pieces and often come from hidden suppliers who do not have permanent storefronts. Some of these sellers work with discrete networks that connect buyers to factories rather than to open market stalls. This allows them to offer what many collectors call Super A replicas, watches that are more accurate in design and details. Guangzhou's replica watch market is not only about people walking around and buying off the shelf. Many sellers connect with buyers online or through private channels. Some of the wholesalers here have websites or catalogs that they use to reach customers around the world. Other sellers ship watches internationally from Guangzhou directly to buyers in different countries. For some buyers, this makes Guangzhou the starting point of a global supply chain for replica watches. While Guangzhou is famous for replicas of classic and high-end designs, Shenzhen is another city that has been known for replica markets, and its supply chains are among the most developed in the country. Street markets here, especially in parts like Huaqiangbei, once featured nighttime markets where everything from fake luxury watches to electronics could be found. These markets were active from midnight until the early morning hours, with sellers offering watches alongside other replica goods. At its peak, the Huaqiangbei market was known for a lively scene of vendors selling copies of Rolex watches and other luxury accessories among electronics and gadgets. Even though low-quality fake goods were easy to spot, there were sections where more convincing watch replicas were available, often hidden or shown only to trusted buyers. Visitors would arrive late at night, find the market buzzing with activity, and browse through hundreds of different items before the market wound down near dawn. However, recent reports indicate that Shenzhen's night markets have changed significantly. The Huaqiangbei ghost market has closed permanently, meaning the scene that used to happen at midnight no longer exists in the same way. Authorities have taken action against some of these ghost markets, and dealers have moved to other channels that are less open and visible to the public. Even so, Shenzhen remains a place where people can find replicas if they know local networks or contacts. Another well-known location is Luohu Commercial City in Shenzhen, near the border with Hong Kong. While it is not a traditional watch market like Guangzhou's, many visitors and buyers report that you can find fake luxury watches, including Rolex copies, alongside other accessories. In places like this, sellers may not openly display fake watches on shelves. Instead, shoppers might be approached by agents or shown catalogs with the items available for sale. This creates a shopping experience that feels more like a private transaction than a normal market purchase. Beyond Guangzhou and Shenzhen, other cities in China also have markets where replica watches appear among other products. Shanghai's fake markets include spots like AP Plaza and Yatai Xingyang Fashion and Gift Market, where shoppers can sometimes find imitation luxury watches while browsing for gifts, fashion items, or souvenirs. These markets are usually open during normal business hours and have wide selections of goods, but they may also require buyers to look carefully to find the watches they want. In all these places, the world of replica watches is shaped by demand, supply networks, and buyer preferences. Some people visit these hubs out of curiosity, others are looking for a bargain, and some are experienced buyers searching for specific models or quality levels. The range of products varies widely, from low-priced watches that are clearly fake to higher-grade replicas that require careful inspection to tell them apart from genuine pieces. Meanwhile, how are these products created and controlled? Let's find out. The process, from production to sales. In the world of replica watches, fake Rolexes do not appear by magic. Behind every imitation timepiece is a chain of production steps, people, and systems that work together to make these watches look real and then move them into the hands of buyers. To start with, fake Rolex watches are not made by the real Rolex company. Rolex watches are built only in Switzerland by skilled watchmakers, and every part is carefully tested and checked in strict factories. If a watch claims to be a Rolex made in China, it is not real and is a counterfeit. Instead, replica watchmakers operate in industrial regions in China, especially around Guangdong province, where cities like Guangzhou and Shenzhen have a network of workshops dedicated to making copies of popular luxury watches. These workshops vary in size and skill. Some are very small and produce cheap watches with basic parts. Others are more advanced and focus on making replicas that look very much like the real thing, sometimes even using materials and designs that make them hard to tell apart from genuine watches for a casual observer. The first stage of making a fake Rolex is design and tooling. Replica makers often obtain measurements of real watches by studying authentic ones. They may buy real models, take them apart, and measure every tiny part. This allows them to create molds and production plans for each component. Many producers use CNC machines, 3D printing tools, and water jet cutters to shape metal cases, bezels, and bracelets that closely match the originals. Next comes the movement, which is the heart of the watch. Authentic Rolexes use specially engineered mechanical movements that are tested and certified by strict Swiss watch standards. Replica watches, however, use a range of different movements with varying levels of quality. Some basic fakes use simple quartz movements that produce a ticking motion. Others use more complex automatic movements borrowed from Japanese or Chinese makers, and some even mimic Swiss ETA movements to make the watch appear more genuine. In high-end replicas, the components inside the watch may be designed to look and function closer to real Rolex mechanisms. However, even in these cases, the materials, tolerances, and craftsmanship usually do not reach the level of genuine Swiss manufacture. Still, these movements can be convincing and are harder for untrained buyers to distinguish from the real thing. Once all the parts are ready, the case, the bracelet, the movement, the dial, the assembly begins. This usually happens in a workshop space or factory area where workers fit the pieces together. In some factories, workers are highly practiced at sealing watches, placing tiny hands on the dial and pressing crystals in place so the final product looks polished. Other operations may be less careful, resulting in watches that look good on the outside but may fail sooner or have inaccurate timekeeping. After assembly, watches are often moved to warehouses or storage centers, where they are kept until buyers place orders. These warehouses serve as distribution hubs, and they hold large quantities of watches from different factories, ready for sale. Some warehouses also have agents or managers who handle communication with sellers and track demand for specific models. From there, watches are sold through many methods. Trading is much more digital and global. Sellers use online platforms and encrypted messaging apps to reach customers around the world. Some use offshore e-commerce sites designed to hide the fact that they are selling counterfeit products, while others rely on middlemen. They also offer different payment options, including encrypted digital currencies like Bitcoin, Western Union, or other systems that are harder to trace than normal bank transfers. Packages are sometimes labeled as other items to reduce the chance of customs interception during shipping. Because of this global network, a watch assembled in a workshop in southern China can end up on sale in cities across Africa, the Middle East, Europe, and the Americas. Small sellers in one country may not even know where their products came from originally. They may have bought the watches from a middleman who sourced them from warehouses in Guangzhou or other hubs. The watches are bought in bulk at wholesale prices and then distributed. The quality of these replica watches varies a lot. Some very cheap ones are easy to identify as fakes. They use low-grade materials, poor finishings, weak clasps, and basic movements that do not stay accurate. Others, especially those from more skilled makers known in online communities, are far more refined. These high-end replicas may feature sapphire crystals, ceramic bezels, and movements that look and sound almost like real automatic watches. This difference is most apparent when examining specific details under close inspection. Despite laws in many countries that ban the production and sale of counterfeit goods, the global demand for cheaper options keeps the market alive. Buyers who want the status or look of a luxury watch without the high-cost fuel this supply chain. The result is a complex system of production, storage, and distribution that spreads fake Rolex watches worldwide, all originating from these networks, based mainly in China. Yet, the authorities cannot just fold their hand and watch. Here's what they do. Enforcement and legal actions. While thinking about fake Rolex watches being made and sold, it is important to also understand how governments and law enforcement agencies try to stop these illegal activities. Counterfeiting harms brands, misleads customers, and breaks laws that protect trademarks and consumer rights. Different agencies in China and around the world have taken many actions, from seizing illegal goods at borders to putting people in prison, to discourage and punish the production and sale of counterfeit watches. In China itself, there have been major legal cases against people who make and sell fake Rolex watches. One of the most well-known cases involved a group of people in Guangzhou and other parts of the country who worked together for years, making counterfeit watches that used the registered trademark Rolex without permission. The case was investigated over several years. Officials found that the group not only assembled fake watches, but also handled parts, packaging, and sales in ways that broke China's trademark laws. In July 2023, the People's Court of the Zhenjiang Economic Development Zone handed down sentences in this case. 15 people were sentenced to prison terms ranging from suspended sentences to as much as 6 years and 6 months. The court also fined them for their crimes. The total value of the fake watches linked to this operation was more than 300 million RMB, which is Chinese currency, indicating how big and organized some counterfeiting rings can be. The court explicitly stated that the defendants knew their actions were illegal, but continued manufacturing and selling fake Rolex and other trademarked products anyway. Criminal punishment like this shows that China is willing to use its laws against trademark counterfeiting, and it sends a message that producing fake goods is not just a minor offense. It becomes serious when there is a large network of people involved and a large amount of fake watches are being produced or sold. In addition to court actions against sellers and producers inside China, customs agencies and border authorities elsewhere have intercepted shipments of fake Rolex watches that were being shipped from China to other countries. These efforts help stop counterfeit goods before they reach stores or collectors abroad. For example, in June 2025, Vietnamese border officials seized a large shipment of fake Rolex watches at a border crossing with China. Customs officers found 450 counterfeit Rolex watches hidden inside a container that was declared to carry ordinary consumer goods. The company that owned the container could not provide legal papers for the watches, so officials took them and began further investigation. If these watches had been real Rolex watches, their value would have been more than $2 million United States dollars. These kinds of seizures are not limited to Southeast Asia. United States Customs and Border Protection, CBP, in Chicago, has also intercepted hundreds of fake luxury watches, including Rolex and other high-end brands, in shipments coming from China and Hong Kong. In one recent operation, CBP officers seized 243 counterfeit watches destined for addresses in the United States. If genuine, the combined retail value of these watches would have been over $6 million United States dollars. In another United States seizure operation, CBP officers found 516 fake watches with logos from brands like Rolex, Cartier, Omega, and Patek Philippe in shipments arriving through Chicago. The total value of the watches, if they had been real, would have been more than $9 million United States dollars. These seizures are part of routine work by customs officers to enforce intellectual property rights at points of entry, and to keep counterfeit products from spreading into regular markets. In Hong Kong, customs and law enforcement have also organized coordinated operations to seize large numbers of counterfeit products, including fake Rolex watches. In one 2-week operation in mid-2025, authorities confiscated 67,000 counterfeit items worth more than 44 million Hong Kong dollars, about 5.6 million United States dollars. These items included handbags, shoes, and watches labeled with luxury brand logos. Hong Kong customs worked with counterparts in mainland China and Macau to disrupt smuggling networks that move fake products across borders and into international markets. Their law treats importing or exporting goods with forged trademarks as a serious offense, and people convicted of these crimes can face up to 5 years in prison as well as heavy fines. This kind of strict penalty is to protect consumers and the region's reputation as a place where genuine goods are trusted. Meanwhile, within China, a number of local market supervision bureaus and public security organs are also involved in detecting and punishing counterfeiting activities. These agencies check shops, warehouses, and production sites suspected of making or selling fake, trademarked goods. When violations are found, authorities can seize the counterfeit items, close down illegal operations, and transfer serious cases to judicial authorities for prosecution. These enforcement actions show that counterfeiting is not only a problem for buyers and sellers, but also a legal issue that affects trade, intellectual property rights, and international cooperation. Government agencies and customs officers often work together across countries and regions to track the movement of fake watches and stop them before they reach consumers. However, when the distribution of these fake watches are successful, there are real consequences. Impact on brands and the global market. Counterfeit goods, especially fake Rolexes, do much more than just exist. They affect the reputation and financial health of real brands, the decisions consumers make, and even the global economy in ways that are not always obvious at first. When people see fake products widely available, it can change how they feel about the brand itself. Some buyers start to doubt whether the brand really controls what people sell under its name, even though the brand has done nothing wrong. This confusion can weaken consumer trust in the authentic brand's ability to protect its products and reputation. Luxury brands like Rolex have built their reputations over many years by promising quality, exclusivity, and long-lasting value. That promise relies heavily on the idea that each watch is carefully made, checked, and backed by the company's long-standing history and guarantee of quality. When counterfeit Rolex watches flood the market, some buyers may accidentally buy a fake product, thinking it is genuine. Later, they might blame the real brand for poor quality or performance, even if the brand had nothing to do with the fake watch they bought. The damage from counterfeit products isn't just about reputation, it also hits brands financially. When consumers choose a fake watch over a real one, the legitimate company loses a sale. Over time, and across many millions of goods, these lost sales add up into billions of dollars in revenue that brands could have earned. The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD, reports that the global trade in counterfeit goods costs brands and governments huge amounts annually. This affects not only sales income but also the money brands use to invest in upgrades. When a brand loses sales to counterfeit products, it also means a loss of market share. Market share refers to how much of the total business in an industry a brand controls. If counterfeits capture part of that market, even unofficially, then the brand's share shrinks. This makes it harder for the brand to compete with others, and it can slow down future growth. Making things worse, the fake products usually don't follow safety or quality rules, which can cause issues that hurting customers then associate with the genuine products. Another impact of counterfeit goods is on consumer trust and loyalty. When a person buys what they believe is a genuine luxury product and later discovers it is fake, they may feel cheated. Even if the experience with the fake watch was negative, research shows that many consumers still associate that negative experience with the brand name that appeared on the item. A survey found that a large share of consumers lost trust in a brand after buying a fake good online, and many said they also lost trust in the marketplace where they shopped. Because fake goods sell for much lower prices, they create an uneven playing field in the global market. Legitimate brands follow strict rules about pricing, quality, and distribution, while counterfeiters bypass these rules entirely. Fake Rolex watches enter markets at prices that can be thousands of dollars less than the real thing, attracting buyers who are price-sensitive or unable to afford the authentic products. This creates unhealthy competition, where brands that follow the rules have to compete with illegal products that don't face the same costs of materials, taxes, quality control, and legal compliance. The economic effects reach beyond individual brands and even beyond the luxury goods sector. Governments also lose revenue when fake products are sold instead of real ones. Counterfeit goods often avoid paying taxes and duties that accompany genuine imports and sales, which reduces the money governments collect for public services like healthcare, education, and infrastructure. At the same time, counterfeit products may be made using unsafe practices that go against environmental and labor regulations. Because of the value associated with luxury brands, counterfeiting also weakens consumers' confidence in online marketplaces. Online shopping platforms are major places where fake goods appear. Even when sellers on these platforms are supposed to follow rules, fake items still slip through and get listed. When buyers encounter fakes on these trusted sites, many become hesitant to buy high-value goods online at all. Some brands have even chosen to stop selling directly through certain online marketplaces because of the number of counterfeit products being sold there. Beyond economics, counterfeit luxury goods also affect brand innovation and creativity. A lot of the value a brand builds comes from investing in new designs, new materials, and quality testing before a product ever reaches a customer. When counterfeiters copy those designs without investing in the research and development themselves, they benefit from the brand's investment without contributing anything back. This discourages brands from putting as much money into innovation because their unique designs can be copied and sold illegally without penalty. Fake luxury goods also change consumer behavior in ways that affect the broader market. Some people who might otherwise save and buy an authentic luxury item choose the cheaper fake instead. Others might lose interest in luxury items altogether because they no longer feel special or worth a high price. For brands that rely on the perception of exclusivity and prestige, this shift in how people view luxury products can reduce the overall demand for genuine goods. Finally, counterfeit goods lead brands to spend more money on anti-counterfeiting technology, legal enforcement, and security measures. Brands invest in hologram labels, QR codes, digital tracking systems, and legal campaigns to protect their products and educate consumers about how to spot fakes. These efforts cost significant amounts of money that could have been spent on design, retail expansion, or customer rewards instead. The constant need to fight counterfeiting drains resources that brands would rather use for positive growth. If this breakdown changed how you think about luxury, let us know in the comments. Why do you think the counterfeit market is still growing despite the measures to bring it down? Drop your thoughts below. Hit that like button. Subscribe so you never miss our next deep dive into the hidden dynamics of wealth, status, and the brands desperately trying to capture both. Because in luxury, nothing is permanent.